Say good, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Akwesasne Review, the first TV show dedicated to bringing you current events and highlights from in and around Akwesasne.
And we're your panel of hosts. I'm Ryan King.
I'm Anthony Tillman.
I'm Amber McDonald.
And I'm Benjamin Hearn. Well, today we have a really good show for you, and we're going to start off with a subject I think we're all pretty familiar with. It's a 2000. Look at Amber's already. I haven't even said it yet. You're lining right up.
Yes.
She's like, when can I talk about Michael? When can I talk about Michael? The 2016 Olympics in Rio, Brazil. So we're going to do a little segment where we each kind of talk about what we like about the Olympics and, you know, if there's any defining moment for you. So I don't know. Who wants to start it off? It's good. The segment was made for her. This is her segment.
Okay, well, Michael Phelps.
Of course.
We all know. Okay, let's talk about swimming in general.
Okay.
There was the Lily King thing, right, where she was wagging her finger at the Russian girl when the Russian girl tried to say number one in the trials. She was putting her finger up to the camera, and the camera behind the scenes had Lily King saying, I don't think so.
So what was it about the Russian she was kind of going
She
against?
was caught drug cheating. And they appealed it, and I guess she didn't find out that she was coming to the Rio Games until like the day before or something like that. And they allowed her to participate anyway. So Lily King brought it up even after she won her trials. And, you know, like, they were asking her, you know, what was that about? Everybody saw her wagging her finger at the TV. And she was like, you know, she was caught drug cheating, and I'm just not a fan. You know, and it was like a big thing. Everybody was going crazy, wild for it. And then she ended up beating her in the finals. And she was just like, I want people to know that we did this without any enhancements, you know,
No
or anything
substances,
like that.
right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
cool.
So, you know, I was going to talk about Michael Phelps, so I wanted to pick something different because everybody knows I love Michael Phelps.
I'm like,
And
who's
his
that?
28 medals and
Is that how many he has now? 28?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
yes, 28.
Is he the winningest Olympian right now?
He's the greatest of all time.
Yeah, he's called the GOAT.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
G-O-A-T.
Yeah.
You know, what's kind of
Hashtag-
interesting about him too is that when he was growing up, there was just a small segment about him. His limbs were a little bit longer than anticipated.
He's made
his
to do
arm.
Right,
this.
well,
His body
he
is
was
made for
teased
this.
and ridiculed as a child. He had to fight through adversity to become what he is today. I mean, he wasn't accepted within his own classmates. I mean, his peers. So he found swimming as kind of his outlet.
Well, look at him now.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. So then one more quick Michael Phelps thing. He got beat in one of his races by, they showed the clip, it was so cute, by Young Schooling was his last name, met him and got his autograph, and then he ended up Michael Phelps is his idol, and then he ended up beating him. It was real small.
Well, what about you guys? I mean, okay, Amber likes swimming. There's a couple other sports besides swimming. So what do you guys think about it?
I would know. Listen to Amber. It's just all about swimming. And Michael.
Come on, you must have watched volleyball, Mr. Volleyball.
Yes. My athlete to watch for 2016 was Carrie Walsh Jennings, one of the
awesome.
Yeah, she's amazing. Oh my God, I can't even begin to talk about her. I'm all flabbergasted. She's amazing. She's, I think, the winningest Olympian as far as beach volleyball.
Yeah.
And she's in line. Well, hopefully, she's going to be in line for another gold medal. And you know, she's just one of those athletes that's just very humble. You know, you talk to her, and she always compliments her opponents, and she always compliments her team member that she plays with. She's just that athlete that you just have to watch her. And she just has that it factor.
What I like about Carrie Walsh, and I remember Carrie Walsh before she was at Jennings, she played for Stanford back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and she partnered with Missy May and won a couple gold medals. And now she's playing with April Ross from USC. And April Ross is 6'2", Carrie Walsh is 6'3". They're dominant. If anyone hasn't seen them yet, they're
You have
amazing to watch.
them. They are.
Not only that, but Carrie Walsh Jennings is the mother of 3.
Oh.
And here she is, beach body ready, playing in Olympics in a bikini.
With her little booty shorts
And she's
on.
38 years old. She's 38 years old playing a sport that typically it's made for younger people. So it's pretty cool.
So everyone's looking at me, so I guess it's my turn.
What you got, Anthony?
I could pick the favorites like Usain and Michael Phelps and all these good-hearted stories, but you know me, I like controversy.
We know.
And the good-hearted stories. That's what the Olympics are about. What I want to mention first is the javelin thrower from Kenya. His name is Julian Yego. He was self-taught off YouTube. He taught himself off YouTube, made his own makeshift javelins, started throwing them, learning how to throw this and that, and was just doing it for fun and trying to get better at it. Somebody noticed him, started coaching him, and now he's won a lot of championships, and now he's favored to win the gold in the Olympics. He don't throw till later, but he's favored to win it. Those are the things that I like the Olympics for. The ones that are the stories that get to your heart. That, you know what I'm saying? Because Michael Phelps is supposed to win. You know, Usain Bolt is supposed to win. These little guys from little countries that no one knows about until afterwards. You know, that's the one I'd like to spotlight and highlight.
Well, thank you guys. Again, this is just spotlighting the 2016 Rio Olympics. Speaking of Olympics, we also have some Olympic hopefuls, hopefully from the community of Akwesasne, and one of them was our very own Nolan Terrance. Everyone knows he's a wrestler, so I guess we had a small clip that Ryan did an interview with him. So let's go to the clip.
When did you start wrestling?
I started wrestling my freshman year of high school. Right after my coach, I was in junior high, my coach decided to throw a clinic, and then that got me into just thinking, I had nothing to do over the winter. I wanted to try and stay in shape for football, so I said, why not wrestle? You kind of have to maintain a weight class, you have to work really hard. And it just eventually after that, it just got to the point where football was secondary and then wrestling was the number one thing that I focused on all the time.
Describe how you felt when you won the state title for wrestling.
When I won the state title, it was great, it was amazing. My coaches never had a state champion before, so that was great too. They were excited. I've been working for 2 years for that title. It felt really great to finally was able to just tell myself I accomplished something because I worked really hard for it. And after it got done, I was kind of sad because I didn't have a goal anymore after that. I was kind of like, what do I do now? What's the plan now? Where do I go from here? And then going to university, they gave me another goal and something more to work for, so it's very exciting.
What's next for Nolan Terrance? Olympic future in your sights?
Yeah, I hopefully can try. I'm gonna definitely try for Tokyo 2020. It would be amazing if I can do that. But since this is my last year as a junior, that'll be my only option. So kind of like back against the wall. Right. If I don't get there, then what else is there for me?
Thank you so much for that interview, Ryan. And again, Nolan Terrance is going to be one of the hopefuls for the upcoming Olympics. He wants to join other former Native American Olympians such as Jim Thorpe, Wanique Horn-Miller from Ganawaga, and one of the biggest ones is Billy Mills. So we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors, Nolan. Best of luck. And next we're going to be talking about a local event that's going to be happening here in Akwesasne. It's a production called Pig Girl. Now, Amber, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about this production.
Okay, so it's happening August 19th and 20th, and it's Sacred Roots production. And kind of what I was reading up on that was it's Indigenous stories by our own Native storytellers. Mm-hmm. So Jessica Loft and Shelby Adams are the owners of this production company, I guess it would be called.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And they have a lot of local talent that are going to be in the play. I have the list of people: Jessica Loft, Constantine Cortidis, Shelby Mitchell-Adams, Brett Desrosiers, Nick Gayada'a Skitter, Jaden Mitchell, Montana Adams, Chelsea Chamberlain, Donna Jacobs, and Melissa Connors. So those are some familiar names, you know. I recognize a few names. Some of them I don't know so much, but Jessica Loft's in there, and she's one of the owners of the Sacred Roots production company, you know. So it's kind of interesting to see what's going on there. That's going to take place August 19th and 20th. And I did hear that they did say you have to be in your seats and ready at 6:30. They're closing the doors. Yep. And it's such a heavy topic that you have to be 15, age 15 and over, and they will be checking IDs. Like, this is serious, because they said you have to be there for the opening scene. It's very important, and I can't wait.
Right, and I think it comes down to that. They need to make sure that it's age appropriate, because this is kind of a deep issue. I mean, we're talking about Robert Picton from Western Canada near the Victoria, British Columbia area that victimized women, and 50% of those women were Aboriginal. So this is a depiction, dramatization of the events that occurred from this. So it sounds like a really good production. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, and like we said, it's a very heavy subject. We're talking about missing murdered Indigenous women, and we've talked about it prior to this before on other segments. And as you know, we're all kind of like, oh my God, it's so heavy. You know, maybe I don't want to go. Maybe I do want to go. We're, you know, some people might be on the fence of like, do I really want to see this because it's so heavy? But I think it would be, you know, very important for all of us or anybody in the community to go out and see this play, because this issue isn't going to go away.
Right, it's not going to go away, and it's about raising that awareness once again. We were talking in one of our previous segments about Trudeau and, you know, the importance he's bringing it back and making sure that, you know, it's at least looked upon. So again, I guess it is good for the community. Come on, check it out.
And I was listening to the production on the local radio station, and they did say that our Melissa Connors, she has worked with a lot of different groups that deal with this kind of thing, and she was saying that if you think this isn't happening around here, you're wrong, because it is.
Yes.
The trafficking, you know, all of that stuff. She said it is happening.
And that's the point that I want to bring across. It's our reality. As much as like you said, as dark and as deep as it is, it's our reality. This stuff happens. We have enough programs here locally that deal with this stuff. Seven Dances Coalition, our Three Sisters programs. So this is a reality for us. The neglect, the beating of our Native American women, you know, and it's just a reality for us. And I think it'd be beneficial if we all go check it out, or the community checks it out, because it makes it real to us. You know, we can put it on TV and this and that, and it's not real to us. But when you get to see it firsthand and you experience it, it makes that just a little bit more real, and makes you want to protect your daughters or your moms, your grandmas, your women just more in general, you know?
Yeah.
And I guess for me, it just really comes down to, you know, Akwesasne women are, again, depicting this, and I know, like, for example, Nagaya has done a lot of acting roles in Toronto, and for her to be participating in this, there's going to be a level of, you know, severity and seriousness, but it's interesting to see how they're going to portray this.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to this production for sure.
Kudos.
So at this time, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back with Akwesasne Review. Joseph's Fine Jewelry on the Akwesasne Mohawk territory. Joseph's Fine Jewelry hosts Pandora, Chrysalis, Obaku, and Uno to 50 lines, which are exclusive to Joseph's Fine Jewelry. We are the only local dealer Pandora from Watertown to Plattsburgh. All sales with Joseph's Fine Jewelry are tax-free, so come see us at Joseph's Fine Jewelry, where we can design the ring of your dreams.
Brass Horse Pizzeria and Lounge, home of the award-winning wings. Whatever your family is hungry for, Brass Horse Pizzeria can serve it up. From subs and wraps and the famous award-winning jumbo wings. Call today at 518-358-6122, pickup or delivery. If you're looking for a relaxing night out, maybe catch a game or pay-per-view fight, the Brass Horse Lounge is the place to head. Friendly faces, relaxing environment, and the patio is now open. Brass Horse Pizzeria and Lounge.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Once again, we are Akwesasne Review. And next, we're going to be talking about a rather momentous occasion that's happened at our Salmon River Central School Board. Most recently, August 9th, it took to the board for a vote of changing, or at least asking for the change of Columbus Day to be made into the Indigenous Peoples Day. And guess what? It was approved.
It was approved.
Yes.
So kudos to the Salmon River Central School Board. Now, what do we think about this type of information?
I think it's about time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, we're a little behind in the times because it's been a national movement at other schools, colleges, universities, and even some high schools across the nation have made the movement to change Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day. And to have a school that is predominantly Native American still having Columbus Day on their calendar is a little bit detrimental to our community and to those students. So I have to say it's awesome. You know, thank you to whoever made that motion to have it changed, and I believe it was the Mohawk Club at Salmon. It was actual students.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it was the students that actually proposed it. They brought it to the school board, and it was put to a vote. And it's actually pretty momentous again because we, being alumni, well, most of us being alumni from Salmon River Central, we know the importance of like cultural identity, but also just recognition for us being a majority of the school district. I don't know the exact percentage. I think we're close to 65%.
I think so.
Yeah. And the St. Regis Mohawk tribe actually just changed theirs in 2015 as well. So when you have the upcoming year's holidays, HR guy, they changed the name of it there too. And yeah, like you said, it's happened just recently. I think last year, some of the students from Akwesasne went to Plattsburgh on behalf of them changing theirs, and they brought people in and stuff like that to get there. So even Plattsburgh kind of beat us.
But
to
you
the
know what,
punch.
and it's not without controversy because whenever there's a change, I mean, there's good, there's positive.
People fear
but people fear
change.
change,
I fear
exactly.
change.
and I wanted to show these guys earlier, but on Facebook, it was just an announcement for the school board recognizing this change, and there was some feedback. A lot of them from alumni from Salmon River, maybe in their 80s, 90s, that thought this change was just unnecessary. But kudos to a lot of the current teachers and a lot of people that I know that actually stood up and said it's about time.
Yeah.
It's about recognition about a school that's primarily Native American Mohawk people. But there was some people out there saying, just why? Why did you have to?
What are we celebrating? Indigenous Peoples Day. What's the meaning behind it? Are they saying that, hey, good job, natives, or like Columbus discovered America supposedly? So Indigenous Peoples Day, who are we honoring? Everybody as a whole? Like, I'm not for it, I'm not against it, because either way, I'm going to take the day off. Like, my
HR guy, yeah.
But my thinking is, like, whether it was Columbus Day or the Indigenous People Day, most people are going to take that day off. I'm not going to go to work and be like, hey, I refuse and I'm protesting by coming to work today. I still won't get paid, So my question is, what are we celebrating then? What is it? What's the significance for you guys? Like, I don't get it.
Well, I guess it raises a really good question. I mean, if it is now going to be identified as Indigenous Peoples Day, what is the school district going to do in terms of identifying, is it going to be a cultural appreciation day where everyone can wear the ribbon dress and moccasins? I mean, is there going to be kind of a demonstration of our culture to maybe teach and raise awareness?
Yeah,
but I mean, what is the school
social.
district going to do from that point forward? So that is a good question.
Maybe,
because
maybe whatever the Mohawk Club presents. Maybe they
And I
do.
believe- and I
Maybe
believe
Mohawk Club says this will be the day. Like, you guys changed it. This will be the day we do this. We cook everybody fry bread and corn soup.
And I think, like if you look at Facebook pictures of like some of the students or even the school itself, they do hold stuff like that
Yeah.
around this time, around like Columbus Day, and like I said, the movement has been there with the kids and the students to change the name because like Columbus Day to us, it's kind of like, why are we celebrating this guy?
Right.
Because he is the one who started it all. He took our land. He did all this stuff. We don't celebrate Hitler.
Right.
Why are we celebrating
But you know what?
Columbus?
I have to step back in a second because, again, 3 out of 4 of us are alumni. And I don't think there was much tension when we were in school in terms of this. But I have to give a lot of credit to these students because, at least for me being a former student, I would have never in a million years thought about going to a school board meeting
Yeah.
and saying, I would like this action to take place or consideration for it. So again, kudos to the students nowadays that are just that much more
They're stepping up.
incorporated involved
Yes.
into what happens at their school.
Definitely.
So that's
That
kind of
makes-
cool. I
That
like
makes
that.
me very proud.
Absolutely.
All right, so I guess next we're going to move on to a really hard one. This has been a hotly debated topic within the community of Akwesasne for a few months, and I guess it's been national as well. We're talking about the marijuana and hemp issue. Now, across the country, we are seeing different forms of trying to legalize the use of marijuana and hemp. And most recently, the St. Regis Mohawk tribe held a meeting to discuss bringing it to referendum. So we're going to start off with that. We're going to open it up to you guys, the panel, and kind of discuss where we want to go with this.
So I was at the tribal meeting when they presented
Me too.
you were taping.
I was there.
The draft questions. So I have them. Would you like me to read them?
Sure.
Draft question number 1. Should the St. Regis Mohawk tribe explore options to legalize, license, and regulate the cultivation, production, and distribution of medical marijuana?
Okay.
And draft question number 2, should the St. Regis Mohawk tribe explore options to legalize, license, and regulate the cultivation, production, and distribution of industrial hemp?
Now,
So
these are
those-
questions that were supposed to be in June with the
Correct.
election, right? So they backed it up to September
Okay.
5th, I
Yep.
think.
Well, what happens now is they presented the possible questions.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the community has 30 days to comment.
Yes,
So they have
yeah.
until September 5th to comment on the actual questions. And actually what happened in May is the tribal clerk kind of wouldn't approve the questions then for the referendum because she didn't feel like there was enough time for the community to be involved, to learn about it, go through the meetings and stuff. So that's kind of how that happened. So now they presented the questions, it's a comment period, and then we go from there, I guess. And I think they were talking about holding the referendum maybe around December, once all this gets happened, once all the the questions get finalized, then they have the meetings. And I did ask the question if they would be having separate meetings for each one, and they said yes, because they're two different things.
Right. I guess my interpretation of it is that, again, this has a potential of being an economic driver for the community. I know there was a lot of community members that were kind of questioning why marijuana is even brought into the conversation, because we're taught from a young age that marijuana is an illegal substance. But again, it's been proven time over again that it can be used for medicinal purposes, and if properly, I guess, distributed, it could be for the good of the community as well. But again, this is about a way of sustaining and improving an economic driver within our community. We have the casino, we have businesses local, but what other, I guess, no pun intended, cash crop can we look into, sustaining and growing our community?
Right.
And they were saying that there is a difference in marijuana and the hemp,
Yeah.
and it's unfortunate that they're clumped together because at the presentation they were saying that hemp you don't get high from it. You can roll around in it all day, nothing happens. And that was the analogy that they used at the meeting.
They extract the THC from it, is what they do. They extract the THC from the hemp, and that's why you can wear it in jewelry, you can wear it in your sandals, you can wear it in your clothes, you can do whatever you want with it. That's so there's no effect from it by rolling in it,
Yeah.
smoking it, nothing.
But I guess it goes back to that basic question. Regardless of what type of referendum questions are out there, we just make sure that the community is aware that it's out there and that there's time given to express your thoughts and concerns about it.
Yeah.
So where would they go if they want to?
They would go to the tribal clerk's office, I believe, and it's a comment period. I guess you would just drop off a comment.
Or talk to
Drop off
them
a
about
comment.
what your issue is.
Yeah, I mean, and they did talk about the difference in the marijuana. There's medical, there's recreational,
Yeah.
there's a lot, and there was
And
a whole
it's highly
presentation.
regulated. They kept making a point that it's not. We're just gonna, hey, I have pain in my back. Give me some weed, or give me whatever. I have this card. Give it to me. It's
Right.
highly regulated. You have to have a diagnosis for one of the.
You have to have an established relationship
Yes.
with a doctor, which requires at least 2 visits that you pay out of your pocket. No health insurance will cover it because it's not FDA approved.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you a lot. And they said, like, even if you get a
But-
prescription for it, it could cost anywhere from $20 up to $2,000, depending on how much you're supposed to have.
Yeah, and it's an alternative form of medicine because at the presentation, there was a community member that was actually speaking to an issue her husband was going through. He was advanced state Parkinson's, and they've exhausted all forms of therapy and medication. And there's been studies proven with hemp and medical marijuana that there's positive effects towards this particular disease. So what do? Do you exhaust everything else and not explore this option for this community member? That's a really,
Yeah.
really hard issue.
And there's specific list of diagnoses, too, that goes with, that benefits from it. So
Well, that's good to know. At least from a community perspective, it's going to be under regulations, that there's going to be criteria that are involved for the distribution of it. So it's not going to be an open format where people are just selling on the corners. So this is, again, September 5th is the cutoff period to get information and also to provide your comments and feedback, probably to the tribal clerk's office.
Can't wait. I hope my cataracts. I got cataracts.
We're going to have to see a doctor's note for that. We're going to have to see a doctor's note.
2 visits. 2 visits.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We're going to be right back with you to finish up with Akwesasne Review.
We've been doing the health food store for about 22 years now. Any type of food, any type of supplement, I've got it. We have a very, very large selection of your wheat-free, gluten-free. We have a very large weight loss section. We have 16 feet of protein shakes. Healthy Way, herbal knowledge spoken here.
Whether it's for business or just a getaway, Cape Air is your wings in the Northeast. Cape Air serves 17 destinations throughout the Northeast, including Ogdensburg, Messina, and Saranac Lake in New York, Rutland in Vermont, and Lebanon in New Hampshire. Enjoy fast, frequent flights and easy access to your connections through Boston and Albany. Cape Air connects you to the Northeast and the world. Book today at capeair.com or call 800-CAPE-AIR and enjoy the ride.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. In closing for the Akwesasne Review, before we finish off, we wanted to discuss something really cool. We have a lot of good that goes on in the community, and we'd like to feature it in a little segment we call Spotlight. So Ryan, we're going to kick it off with you. What's your Spotlight for the week?
All right. So my Spotlight this week is our former co-worker and our buddy, Michaela Francis. She packed up and had a dream and moved out to California.
Yay!
Good for her. We like it. We like it. Not just her, but everybody who's had the guts to just up and move and chase their dream, and that's what she's doing. Follow her all day, every day, doing things, and her on Facebook and what she's doing every day. So,
I was going to say she's pretty active on Facebook and Instagram. So, we definitely, anytime she gets the experience here to go out and kind of spread her wings, and especially in California in that area, that's awesome.
That is
good
awesome.
for her.
Good for her.
I tell kids all the time when I talk to kids, the res will always be here.
That's
Go out,
right.
spread your wings,
Yes.
fly. You always have a place to come back to.
Spread your
Exactly.
wings, find who you are as a person, and come back. And
See, I came back.
we're always going to be here.
Like, welcome back, Kata.
Welcome back, Tillman.
Yeah, thanks.
Shout out to you.
So Benny, you didn't tell us what your Spotlight was.
Well, actually, mine is a really good one. I've heard a lot about it over the last couple of years, and I actually Facebooked a couple founding members and got some more information. But mine is actually going to be on the Akwesasne Death Benefits group. Now, what's really interesting about this group is the fact that it was actually incorporated like 20 years ago, and just more recently, Emmy Lazor Mitchell kind of made a notion to bring it back, and there's now like a small committee formed. And for anybody that has never heard of the Akwesasne Death Benefits group, it's kind of a collection. We all know that funerals are expensive, so the average funeral costs around $8,000 now. And with this death benefits, when their community member passes, if you pay into this group, they will actually give money to help offset the cost for you. And they've given as much as up to $3,000 at a time to help families out. So what I found out is registration's $10, and then there's a due of $10 as well. So you could pay for you and each one of your individual family members as well. So if anything, heaven forbid, happens, there's going to be additional coverage. I know there's something set up for MCA and for the tribe to help out, but this is just another way of helping. So it's about raising awareness. It's a death benefits group, and you can find them on Facebook. They have their own Facebook page. So
Wow.
it's really good for the community. I like it.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
awesome. That's nice.
So Tillman.
Well, you know me. Last week I did the community. I always got to be the difficult one. I just can't just do an assignment. Say, I'm going to do this. I can't be simple. I would like to give a big shout out to the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe in North Dakota. What's going on right now is they're building a pipeline through North Dakota. Well, matter of fact, the pipeline's going to go all the way through the U.S. But they are having a peaceful, let me emphasize, a peaceful protest to protest the building of that pipeline. And so I just want to give a big shout out to them, because it takes a lot of courage, it takes guts to stand up for what you believe in. And they believe that the fracking, they believe that all the drilling, it will pollute the water if that pipeline breaks, and there goes their livelihood, there goes their hunting grounds. And it reminds me of our people when stuff like that happened. I think Enbridge a couple years ago wanted to put natural gas through here, and we didn't want anything to do with fracking. Mm-hmm. So it's good to see that our people standing up against corporations.
Mm-hmm.
And they are getting national recognition as well. We do have some celebrities. Amber, you want to highlight who's been working with them?
Actually, Leonardo DiCaprio, they announced. The girl from Divergent.
Shailene Woodley?
Yeah.
She was arrested a couple days ago. She was arrested.
She was? I didn't catch
She was
that
arrested.
part. Wow. Yeah, but
And Jason
Momoa?
Jason
that him?
Momoa.
yeah.
What's he on? There was some show.
Some show, some national big huge show on HBO called Game of Thrones. Kind of a fan.
But another part of that too is it's not just them. It's close to them, and it's near the Missouri River, and it's not just them and their tribe and their reservation, you know, it's going to affect everyone.
Yeah.
It's water.
It's a national
water.
fight. It's a national.
Exactly.
We need to recognize that with money seems to be the root of all evil here, but I mean, all they're trying to do is make more money in this, and they're willing to destroy the environment, to put people in danger, and what, for a quick buck. So kudos to that tribe out there, and a lot of the celebrities stepping in and helping out. And there was even, I was reading, there was a group of high school students that are running to DC as well to raise awareness. So they're going to be right at the step of the White House trying to raise awareness for this, trying to stop this pipeline from being installed. So it's pretty incredible, and kudos to that tribe out there. It's pretty amazing.
Yep.
All right, so once again, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us Akwesasne Review. Again, the spotlight, we just want to reiterate, we're just actually highlighting, you know, what's good around the community, but also we just recognize that it doesn't necessarily have to be from Akwesasne either. You know, there's people out there doing good for, you know, community as a whole all over the country of the United States and Canada. So with that, we'd like to say Nyawagoa for watching us, and we'll see you next time.
Anna.
Bye. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Don't we have all day Wednesday?
9 p.m.
I'll do mine right away because I'm actually out of town tomorrow.